Welcome back, guys. It is UFC 321, Aspinall versus Gane. And yeah, it's going down this weekend, as I'm sure all of you guys know. We're going to break down this card starting at the bottom all the way to the top. There's timestamps if you want to jump to, you want to skip the women's predictions, you can. And yeah, all in all, actually a pretty decent card. Again, it is in Abu Dhabi, so it's almost always going to be a half decent card. We have Gone fighting for the title. It's okay because, like, who else is he going to fight? But also, like, bro, he robbed Volkov in his last fight. And they were like, the whole, like, if you guys watch the embedded or anything like that, or sorry, the countdown, it's like they make it look like still Gane's kicking Volkov's ass, but we all know Volkov kind of won. Derelba versus Mackenzie Dern for the strawweight title. This is something most of us don't care about, but I also do want Vernon Jandaroba to win, the personal preference, but we'll get into that later. Umar is back in the card, which is sick to see, against Mario Batista. I like Mario. He's going to have a tough fight, but this one's good. This one's good. Volkov versus Jelton Almeida is a good fight. Azamad versus Kanda, the professional taxi driver. He's against Alexander Rackett. This is another good fight. All the fights in the main card are actually, I mean, the female title fight is not like the most hyped fight, but the rest of them are pretty good. Hackparast versus Colin Southfield from down under, and the Iron Turtle is back against Robert Whitaker's quickest win ever. Ludovic Klein. Some decent fighters. We got Walter Walker and Nathaniel Wood. All in all, this card's actually, what the hell is going on with the, wow, dude. Yeah, I see what you mean. Some of these cards are just, some of these fights are just mangled the way they're set up. Anyways, we'll get into it. I don't want to waste too much time on the UFC's website being absolute dog water. It is what it is, you know. Up first, we got Jacquelyn Amorim versus Mizuki. Something Japanese. Oh, I definitely clicked on her face. I guess we'll have to see now. But 9-4. To be fair, I haven't really watched much of her fights. I do know she's coming off a long layoff. Hasn't fought in like at least a year or two, and she's not much older, but she's a little bit older. I just think Jacquelyn Amorim has had more recency, like more fights recently and stuff like that, and been more active. And I do think she's a little bit better than Mizuki, so I'm going to pick her to win this fight. Not a lot of thought going into it, but she is a big favorite, and I do think she's better. As at Maxim versus Mitroposo, this is actually a good fight. Mitrobozo has been, he's not been doing hot lately. Let's just say that. He's lost, actually, I'm going to click and see his fight record, but he's lost a lot of fights recently, if I remember correctly. Like, I don't know how many, I don't even know if he's really won one in the UFC recently. Yeah, he's only got 2 fights in the UFC. How did he even get into the UFC? I forget what he was on. I feel like he was on Contender Series or something. Not even Contender Series. Maybe Contender Series or maybe like a tough series way back. I don't know. But he lost to Lima. He's pretty good. And lost to Subudarji. Yeah. I mean, he's 2-0. He definitely needs a win in this fight. But I don't think he's going to get one. They're putting him up against Azam Maxim, who's honestly, although he looks like kind of like one of the kids that sits in the back and like draws like cartoon villains on his notebook in class and like secretly like is just following you around without you knowing. He's got like this kind of dark stuff. He looks like an intimidating school, you know what kind of guy. But yeah, Asa Maxim is actually good. He's very tall for the division. He's very strong for the division, even though he's tall. Like he's not going to be getting out strength, I guess, if that's the word you want to use it, by Mitch Raposo. Even though he's taller, he's got the strength to deal with Mitch Raposo. His grappling's really good. His striking's definitely better than Mitch Raposo's. He's got the reach advantage. I don't think he's going to get out-grappled by Mitch Raposo whatsoever. I think, if anything, he can out-grapple Mitch Raposo. There's not a lot of ways Mitch Raposo wins this fight. Like, the way Mitch Raposo kind of wins fights is by grappling and getting you down or holding you up against the cage and winning these positions. As a Maxim, he just fought Tagir Lumbekov. I thought it was a really close fight that he could have won. And is it Tagir? Whatever. The other one Dagestani guy that's like 5'7", super tall for flyweight. I think so. Anyways, he just fought him. It was a really close fight. I thought he could have won. He like gritted it out the whole way. Tons of output, high output, good grappling defense, good striking. He's got power for being skinnier and taller at 125. he's a problem. I think he's one of the better flyweights that's not in the rankings yet. So he should just steamroll Mitropozo, in my opinion. He'll be able to defend all the takedowns, and he should do great on the feet. So I'm going to pick him to win by KO or TKO in the second round. I don't think he'll get a finish grappling-wise on Mitropozo. If anything, I think he'll get it done. Like, if he does get to the ground, just put the ground and pound and stuff like that. So I'm going to go with Azam Maxim. Yeah, big favorite as well. I got to move my dome over to the other side because we got Beast Boy Barnett versus. I wish I could just click on Hamdi's. Like, first of all, I don't know why Let me see if I can. If I refresh the page, just fixes it. But the UFC's like just the fact that Hamdi's face is in a different world on the side here is just ridiculous. This shouldn't be a problem, dude. He's got like discoloration from being too fat. It's not even bruises. It's like discoloration from being too fat on his shoulder here, and it's just this guy right here. Wait, let me draw on him. His mother, dude. Hamdi might be my least favorite fighter in the UFC, just because he looks so. And okay, we'll get to Chris Barnett. Chris Barnett is an absolute blob as well, but he's a funny blob, and he's actually athletic for how like blobby he is. Although he did like tear his ACL jumping up and down before his last fight, which is retarded as well. Both these guys are super fat, but Hamdi's just chunky ass kebab eating face makes me mad. He's got his kebab shop and whatever, but yeah, I don't know. He literally looks like if you were on a farm and you wanted to raise like a pig as big as it could, so you can get as much meat out of it as possible before you butchered it. That's kind of the vibe he gives me, and it really bothers me. The problem with this fight is that he probably will actually win, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it is what it is. I don't know. It's just something about like the lack of discipline from this guy in general is just like when you see like a professional athlete a professional athlete at this level, and you're like looking at it, you're like, how? Right? And again, Chris Barnett is in the same boat, but it's just like, bro, like get your shit together, dude. Like go to the fucking gym. It's annoying, honestly. Um, but all that being said, he's actually got like half decent technique for a heavyweight. He's not the worst heavyweight, and unless Chris Barnett flukes something crazy like a spinning heel kick, he's going to have a hard time winning this fight. And he is quite a bit shorter, but he's quite a bit shorter than all of his opponents. So people are like, oh, he's got a big height disadvantage, but it's like, yeah, like he's got a height disadvantage in every single fight he goes into, so it's not really a big deal. But I do think Hamdi, for the most part, should have the advantage in the grappling and the striking, minus the fact that like he can get spinning deleted by Chris Barnett, which would make my day. So I'm gonna go with Chris Barnett, but that's not a go put your money on this kind of pick right there. And I wanted to rant about Hamdi being chunky as hell for like at least 5 minutes. Yeah, we got that out of the way. Now that that's done, Nathaniel Wood, oh my days, versus Jose Miguel Gato. Um, Dude, great fight. Nathaniel Wood is really good. Both of them are really good. Nathaniel Wood is really good. He's one of these fighters that I've always enjoyed as a fighter. If that makes sense. I've always enjoyed Nathaniel Wood. He's out there and he looks insanely technical. He looks like one of these fighters that you're like, you know what, like this guy could make it to the top of the division and have a run at the title. And then he just has like really close losses here and there, and he always gets like hurt in some of his fights. And I know a lot of us always say that, like, dude, he's really good, and then he ends up losing or something like that. He hasn't really had a great run in the UFC. Not a bad run, but not. We'll look at his record, but not a great run, but not a bad run as well. He won against Marvin Charrier, won against Pineda, and he has been winning recently. He lost against Naimov, which, again, I believe that was a close decision. Beat Feely, good fighter. Beat Jourdain, good fighter. Beat Rosa lost to Kenny, which sucks. And then won against Castaneda. I mean, he lost to Casey Kenny, and he lost to Naimov, but Muhammad Naimov. But other than that, like he's pretty much more. Holy shit, he's had a lot of fights in the UFC. Yeah, he won against Quinones and yeah. I mean, other than that, he's won like almost all his fights. He really only has 2 losses, and both of them are close decisions. So I don't know. Like I think he's got a lot of talent. Jose Miguel Delgado is a good fighter for sure, and he is a favorite coming into this, and he's a problem for sure. But my gut My heart wants me to pick, it just wants me to pick Nathaniel Wood. So we're going with Nathaniel Wood. It's one of these fights where it's like both are good strikers, both are good everywhere. Nathaniel Wood is really clean. One of the problems he has is that he does get hurt, but he always recovers. He's got great recovery, and he's great recovery. He's got good ability to recover, and he's a smart fighter. One thing he does that like I personally like, it's really good the way he does it because he always fires back, but it's still a problem with like a lot of fighters in UFC. And it's like not even a problem. It's like just how what else do you do, right? But he fights with a very like tight high guard, which is good. But the problem is that like a lot of times you'll see when he does get rocked, it's his hands are up and he'll still block the punch, but it'll just be heavy enough where it'll kind of wobble you a little bit, even though you're kind of blocking it. And he finds that he gets hurt a little bit that way because instead he likes to like keep his hands up and like throw in the pocket, and counter really well. He's really good at countering, especially with his striking. But when you have your hands up like this, even if you do block like a big overhand or something like that, and maybe it catches you here, whatever, you're still blocking it, but it's still gonna rock you. And sometimes I've seen that in Nathaniel Woods fights where like he doesn't even get hit clean. He's blocking, getting ready to counter, but it still like has enough impact where it'll rock him. Whereas you'll see some fighters who like a Sean O'Malley or something like that, who's really good at countering, striking, all that kind of stuff. He's more going to be out of the way. Like he's more likely to slip or step back instead of trying to block and counter. It's just really hard to block a really hard shot in small gloves and not have it hurt you, right? Like if somebody throws full force and your hand is still up here, like it's still gonna hurt. Like it's still gonna like you end it fuck out. But it is good. His boxing and striking is really good. His cardio is really good. It's a really close fight in my opinion, and I think it's just like in my opinion, this one's like, who do you want to win more? I want Nathaniel Wood to win more, but I do think both of them have a very good chance of winning. I think that Nathaniel Wood, he's good at game planning. He's got good strategy, and I think that he can. I think that he can keep it clean enough throughout the whole fight, where he's going to win 2 rounds. I don't think it's going to be a finish on either end. Nathaniel Wood sometimes he'll get the person hurt. He doesn't always finish, but I think Nathaniel Wood will win the decision here. Tough fight though. Up next, we have Louis Sutherland versus Walter Walker. I haven't. Did I watch? I did watch a Louis Sutherland fight. My bad. What the hell is on bro's stomach? He's one of these guys, same with Walter Walker, that come into the UFC and they look absolutely jacked, and then you get tested and can't do steroids anymore and look a little bit chunkier. Happens. This one, like, it could be like one of these like plot armor ones where like Walter Walker just gets clipped, but and loses. But I think this is like realistically, Walter Walker should win this fight, no problem. He's going to be able to out-grapple Louis Sutherland. Louis Sutherland's not a bad grappler, but Walter Walker is a decent grappler. And just the generational run that this this meathead is on is hilarious. Like, he's just going out there and heel hooking everybody. And just for my personal UFC heavyweight experience and enjoyment of it, I need this guy, Walter Walker. I need him to go out there and get another win by heel hook. It just, even though like I don't ever see Walter Walker being like, okay, like he's gonna be a champion or anything like that in this division. It is just hilarious to have this one dude that's going out there and just absolutely heel hooking everybody. So I really hope it happens. He's a huge favorite, and he should be. I think he'll be able to get the finish. And honestly, his grappling is really good with his leg entanglements. And most of these heavyweights aren't athletic enough to be like, oh, I'm in a leg lock or a heel hook or whatever. I'm going to like get my knee past the knee line, and then I'm going to start throwing hammer fist or punching. Which a lot of times the reason leg attacks don't work super well in MMA is because you're getting punched in the face all the time. Most of these heavyweights can't even touch their fucking feet, so the fact that they're not going to be flexible enough to like turn around and bash you, and most of them are just going to tap right away once they feel something pop. So yeah, Walter Walker by heel hook win. I hope it happens. I'm praying it happens. Abdul Karim Asawadi, man, that's a tough ass name, versus Mateus Camilo. Again, another tough fight. Both good dudes, really good fighters. Mateus Camilo is from Brazil, and Abdul Karim Asawadi is from Palestine. definitely a bigger talent pool in Brazil for anybody who was wondering. Um, but both of them are good fighters, and my problem with this fight is that if it does go to decision, like I know it shouldn't be a thing, but like it could very well go to the guy from the Middle East. But I do think Mateus Camilo will be able to get this one done. He doesn't have as much experience, but he's very athletic, very strong, very powerful for the division. So I'm going to go with Mateus Camilo to win either by TKO or a decision just with like more damage. Like I think in this fight, like he's going to be the guy that's like he's going to be the guy that when he lands, it's going to have a lot of damage, right? And I think just who's going to wear better. I think he's going to wear better as well. Like again, this decision is going to be tough because who knows what they do in Abu Dhabi. But I do think like he's going to be the guy that even if he does get hit clean, he's not going to like wear that damage on his face and stuff as much. Whereas Abdul Karim Al Sawadi, I think I nailed it. He's going to once a couple like big shots land, like you're going to see it visibly on his face and stuff like that. Tough fight for both guys. Could go either way, but I think Mateus Camilo is going to get it. Rebecca versus Ludovic Klein, Battle of the Hairlines. And Ritesh Rebecca is winning the Battle of the Hairlines. Tough fight for Rebecca. I'm surprised at the same height. I would have thought that Rebecca is a bit smaller. And I'm sure when they come out, you're going to notice that Rebecca's a bit smaller, or at least fights like shorter. Ludovic Klein fights like in this karate stance, so he's going to have like a reach advantage for sure. And like he's going to stand taller. He's going to have like a height advantage, even though Rebecca and him are supposedly the same height. But, dude, I was just looking at the pictures and I was like, damn, he's got short arms, Mateus Rebecca. And I looked at the actual reach, and yeah, you can see that he's got quite shorter arms. His elbows are like halfway up his stomach. Same height, shorter reach by far. I do think Ludovic Klein is the more technical, cleaner striker. Probably has a bit of an advantage in the grappling. Problem is that yes, he can get chinned, but also Rebecca, like this dude just takes a fuck ton of damage. Like I don't see Ludovic Klein stopping him. He's like maybe he'll piece him up. And Ludovic Klein, like a lot of times, he's not landing really hard shots. I've seen Mateus Rebecca take every fucking shot in the possible book with his big ass forehead and his granite chin, and just like he gets busted up like bad, but he doesn't stop. He's got grit for days, dude, and he throws really hard as well. So I do think that Ludovic Klein could win this fight just by kind of outpointing him, keeping it a more technical striking fight, mixing in some grappling as well, and winning a decision. I don't really see how he gets Rebecca out of there unless he like submits him or something like that. He's going to hurt Rebecca, but he's not going to be enough to stop him or slow him down, in my opinion. Because I mean, we've seen that in other fights. Like, the dude doesn't stop. My problem with this fight is that I do think that Mateus Rebecca can land a big enough shot that will hurt Ludovic Klein, and he could get him out of there. I do think Ludovic Klein's probably the better fighter, and he should win this fight, especially if he can keep it clean and go to a decision. But he has to be careful not to get hit with a big shot from Rebecca. I think this is probably going to be like Ludovic Klein takes two rounds, like probably wins them just by being the better striker, cleaner, avoiding big shots, and then one round Mateus Rebecca hits him with something, hurts him, and he's just trying to survive. If he doesn't survive, Mateus Rebecca wins. But if he survives, I think he can squeak out a decision. Close odds, but I'm going to go with Ludovic Klein. I think he's a more athletic fighter as well. Acrimless versus Hyun-sung Park. Who doesn't love this dude, man? Hyun-sung Park is awesome. Hyun-sung Park is sick, but he's kind of cooked in this fight, to be honest. Let's see what the odds are. Yeah, pretty heavy in Acrimless Groff's favor. Dude, honestly, Acrimless Groff has only lost like Robert Whittaker, and he's significantly better than Hyun-sung Park. Acrimless Groff, striking wise, better than Hyun-sung Park. Grappling wise, like shouldn't have a problem with Hyun-sung Park. So I think this one's pretty obvious. I think Acrimless Groff should win. I think he'll probably get it done in the second round. That would be my pick. My kind of thoughts on this. I don't know. Like striking wise, I think he's going to piece up Hyun-sung Park. He's probably going to have him hurt, and then grappling wise, I think he's going to be able to defend and mount his own offense and stuff on the grappling, especially if he has Hyun-sung Park hurt. And he'll either be able to find a finish in the grappling or TKO him. So I'm going to go with Acrimless Groff to win this fight. Hyun-sung Park is good. He's older. He does have some like surprise wins, but I just don't think he's better than Acrimless Groff in any of the areas. So yeah, Nazra Hackparast versus Quillen Salkield. Stick fight. Dude, Nazra Hackparast has got a crazy build on him, brother. There are a lot of guys in the UFC where you look at them and you're just like, how are you an elite athlete? Like just based on build. He's one of those guys, but he is very good. Nazar Hackparast has got great boxing. He kind of, again, he trains out TriStar and he's got, well, some fights. And he's got like kind of a Ayman Zahabi style of fighting where it's like good boxing with the hands. He's got a lot of erratic movements where he's just glitching you out. And he's good with the pressure. He's good at winning rounds, learning or knowing how to win a decision. He's won some high level fights against some good people. He's fought good competition and he's won against good competition. And he has high output. He's gritty. He mixes it in. He's well rounded everywhere. Quillen Salkield is good everywhere as well, but this is a big step up in competition for Quillen Salkield. This nerdy Aussie is, I don't know, man. I just don't think that this is it's a fight that Quillen Salkield could win, but I just think it's a tough fight. Like he's fighting way up in competition, in my opinion. So I think it's a big jump up. I think Nazar of Hackparast is probably going to beat him in the boxing. He will get hit with some good shots, but he's very durable and he has high output. So even if he is getting hit with good shots, he's going to throw a lot of shots. So it'll probably be at least close if it goes to a decision or up on the point, up on the scorecards in a decision, which I think he probably will be. Grappling wise, I think he's going to do just fine against Quillen Salkield. So yeah, I think it's a tough fight for Quillen Salkield to win. I don't see him getting finished, but I just don't see how he's going to output or hurt and finish Nazar Hackparast in this fight. So I'm going to go with Nazar Hackparast to win. Decision 29-28, 30-27. They have it really close, but I don't think it's going to be that close in my opinion. We'll see. Azamat Murzakanov, the professional, versus Alexander Rackett. You look at these two guys, just a picture side by side, and you're like, I wonder who's going to win. It's 6'7". We got one guy who's 6'4", in great shape, looks super athletic, strong for the division. Then we got this other guy who looks like a blob taxi driver. And yeah, it's funny because Azamat Murzakanov technically has a better record than Rackett. And honestly, he could win the fight, and that would piss me off. But it's one of these fights where I can just see, like, this guy just got some taxi driver plot armor where he just keeps KOing everybody and ends up winning fight after fight after fight. It's just one of those. Azamat Murzakanov, honestly, not better anywhere than Alexander Rackett. I think Alexander Rackett, striking-wise, is much, much cleaner, much better, faster, stronger, better timing, mixes it up better. He's got good low kicks. Like, watching what he was doing to Yuri before he got Yuri'd was very, very impressive. And I do think that he's honestly one of the more skilled strikers in this division. Like, he's very, very talented. He just has some close losses to some of the best people in the division. He can get hurt. I won't say he's chinny, but he's a little bit chinny maybe. But dude, like, he's so much taller. He's still got such a big reach advantage against Azamat Murzakanov. Azamat Murzakanov is not a great striker himself. He just finds these moments and ends up like landing one shot that like will turn the tide. Like, he'll be losing and then he'll like end up landing a shot and hurting the person, and somehow he won. You're like, what the fuck? But yeah, like, if you were being reasonable, Alexander Rackett should win this fight pretty easily. He should be the better striker. He should be able to keep it at range. He should be able to just do what he wants to Azamat Murzakanov. And as long as he avoids the Azamat Murzakanov fluke shot, which could come and honestly could win the fight if it happens, he should be good. Bar Azamat Murzakanov doing his throwing a taxi driver right hand at you and hitting you or whatever, Rackett could win, or should win, but it's just one of these fights where you look at it and you're like, I know who should win, but my gut is saying that, like, and Azamat Murzakanov is his favorite, which is crazy. But my gut is just saying that, like, this blob over here is gonna find a way to win. And one thing I will give Azamat Murzakanov credit for is he does usually, not usually, he's 15-0. He always finds a way to win. So good on him. Don't think he'll win a decision, but he could find that one shot and that would piss me off. Honestly, that would piss me off. We got Jelton Almeida versus Alexander Volkov. Volkov, dude, he's back. He's got his comb. He's combing his hair in between rounds. I Jelton, we know what this fight is going to look like. It's going to be like Jelton Almeida trying to get Volkov down, Volkov trying to defend shots or keep it standing. I really want Volkov to win. Like, that would be my dream scenario. I really like the guy as a fighter. I think he's really not entertaining, but he is entertaining enough. And I think I just feel bad for that. I feel like it's his time. Like, we need to Alexander Volkov come up. Jelton Almeida, he's very he's technically very boring. He's kind of a boring fighter. Like, he's not a guy that's like grappling wise, he's gonna take you down and ground a pound. He's more just like gonna hold you there like for the back. And if he doesn't have the back, he's not gonna get a submission. But the problem is he's considerably better grappler than pretty much everybody in heavyweight, minus like Tom Aspinall pretty much, and he's really strong for the division. Like, he's a very very strong guy. He's a little bit shorter, but he's very strong. He's still 6'3", which is crazy. He's still very very strong, and his grappling is really good. So, do I think that Alexander Volkov's takedown defense and grappling is good enough to deal with Jelton Almeida? Not really. I think if Jelton Almeida gets him down, he should be able to hold him down or kind of just not manhandle him, but just do his thing on the ground. I don't think he'll get a submission, though. I think Volkov's submission defense is probably good enough now where he'll be able to stop Jelton Almeida from getting a finish. But I do think that he could grapple fuck Alexander Volkov in this fight. I really hope that Volkov wins. Tough fight. I'm going to pick Volkov to win anyways. I do think that, like, at least one round, he's going to get held down for the majority of the round, like 4 minutes. But I do think, like, unless if he gets taken down in the first round and, like, dominated, he's probably going to be tired for the second. Could happen again. But I do think that his striking, his ability to keep it at range, he's a dangerous threat on the feet, so Jelton is going to have to think a little bit about it. Like, he can't just go recklessly diving in on the legs. He might get hit with a knee or something. I do think that Alexander Volkov can get up from some of the takedown defense or attempts. So I do think that Alexander Volkov is going to get held down for at least one round. I think there's going to be probably one close round on the feet where, Alexander Volkov is piecing Jelton Almeida up on the feet, but gets held down for 2 minutes. Nothing really happens. Maybe he wins that round. And then I think one round where Volkov can keep it on the feet for the majority of the round and either hurt Jelton Almeida and get a finish or just piece him up on the feet and win a round. So I'm going to say Volkov can. My opinion, I think Volkov is going to win. I hope he wins. But I think if he wins, it's going to be a decision where he wins a close round, like on the feet, and then is on the ground for a decent amount of it, and one round where he pieces him up on the feet, and then one round where he gets absolutely grapple fucked. But I'm going to go with Alexander Volkov to win by decision. Second round TKO. This is a don't bet on this shit. But this is my guess. I do think that if Jelton Almeida gets him down, he can hold him there, but I don't think he's going to finish him. And I think Volkov has shown quite good improvements in his grappling, and he's only getting better, stronger, bigger, and his striking is still very good. So, Mario Batista versus Umar Nurmagomedov. This is a great fight for me personally. I want to see Umar lose. I don't know why, but I do. I don't know. Him staring at me like this just makes me want him to lose, bro. And I kind of want to see a Mario Batista come up. It would be awesome. Problem with this fight is, honestly, Umar is probably one of the best bantamweights, bar Merab. And he did have a really, really close fight with Merab. He's good absolutely everywhere, which is also another problem. Grappling, very, very good, very high level, and also in striking, very good, very high level. He fights at range well. He fights in the pocket well. Yeah, he's a problem for a lot of these guys in this division. Mario Batista is very good, but he hasn't fought and won against the competition, or not that Umar has fought, because Umar, honestly, like, his only really hard fight was Corey Sandhagen and Merab. So those are definitely higher competition than what Batista has fought, but also not like, I guess those are two of the best guys in the so I don't know what I'm saying. But outside of those two, he hasn't fought like super high level guys, but he did fight those two. So I think he's fought higher level competition. He won against Corey Sandhagen. I don't think Mario Batista wins against Corey Sandhagen. And he had a very, very, very close fight against Merab. I do not think that Mario Batista is going to have that close of a fight against Merab. And I know it's MMA math, but it's a tough fight for Batista to win. Like Batista, he's pretty good at fighting on the outside, uh, kind of like he did against Patchy Mix, but he's not going to be able to really do that against Umar because Umar is really good at that as well. Much better at blitzing in, and obviously Patchy Mix is trash. Grappling wise, he held Aldo up against the cage and did a good job with grappling, but is he really going to be able to do that against Umar? Probably not. I really want Mario Batista to win. This is a tough fight for me to see how he wins. Umar's got great cardio. Batista's got good cardio, great cardio as well. But I just think he's a little bit outmatched in every area. Like Umar is just extremely good everywhere, and Batista's good everywhere, but not quite at the level Umar is everywhere. So I think Umar should win this fight. I think we're all kind of feeling the same. The odds are insanely in Umar's favor. But, and again, if it goes to decision, it's close. We're in Abu Dhabi, so yeah, tough fight for Mario Batista. I really hope he wins. I really hope he wins. That's about it. British Gender versus Mackenzie Dern. I don't know why, but I'm not a big Mackenzie Dern fan. I'm just not. Like, yeah, that, yeah. I'm not going to go into it too much. I'm just not a big Mackenzie Dern fan, to be honest. I think Verna Derelba is sick. I think she's a cool fighter. Um, again, it's kind of like a whack title fight, but Verna Derelba is more cool in my opinion, I guess. But I'm not picking her just because of that. I think that obviously they had their one fight. Mackenzie Dern won. Mackenzie Dern is very gritty and durable, and she's there to fight. Which again, based on what she does and who she is and stuff like that, you wouldn't necessarily expect that. But I do think that this fight, Virgin Jandarova is the same. Like, she's very gritty as well and a good fighter. Problem is that both of them are grapplers, but Mackenzie Dern is more willing to just like go more on somebody on the feet. But I do think that Virgin Jandarova's striking's got a lot better. Both their striking's got a lot better. Mackenzie Dern's boxing is trash, but it's getting better. Virgin Jandarova's striking is good. Her grappling is good. Problem is Mackenzie Dern's grappling is really good as well. The thing that I think that like really kind of picks this fight for me is that Verna Jandarova is probably, in my opinion, she's taking her career way more seriously than Mackenzie Dern is at this point. And I see Verna Jandarova being somebody who's training 2 to 3 times a day, coming in this fight. Mackenzie Dern, like, okay, like I have a fight in like 2 months. I'm going to start going once or twice to the gym a week and starting to think about getting into training and stuff like that. So I do think that Verna Jandarova, since her last fight, has probably been more committed, training more often, and just made more improvements. First fight was close, man. Minus the third round. So I mean, with Verna Jandarova, I think she'll win. It'll be a decision, but I think she'll win. Last fight, Tom Aspenal versus Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane, man. This bald motherfucker. We all know who should win this fight. Tom Aspinall should just mop Ciryl Gane. Grappling wise, Tom Aspinall will have a huge advantage over Ciryl Gane. So, I mean, I think obviously we all know that if it goes to the ground, Tom Aspinall should be able to get a win easily. Striking wise, Tom Aspinall is good. I don't know if he's as good. I think he's as good of a striker as Ciryl Gane. He definitely has more power than Ciryl Gane for sure. Ciryl Gane's a little bit, I don't want to say better at switching stances or anything like that and fighting on different stances, but he definitely shows more aspects of his striking. Tom Aspinall is just, we don't see any of it because he's just so fast. He'll just KO the person right away. The problem is, I think like Ciryl Gane won't be able to finish Tom Aspinall, especially in striking, that easily. Definitely not in the grappling. So I don't know why I said especially in striking, but I don't think he'll be able to finish Tom Aspinall that easily, and he's going to get hit with 1 or 2 shots clean by Tom Aspinall. I think if that happens, he's going to go to sleep. So, or sorry, go to sleep, get hurt. So I think Tom Aspinall should win this. I mean, we can look at the odds, but yeah, I'm sure it's heavily in Tom Aspinall's favor. He gets a takedown, Ciryl Gane, fight's pretty much over. He lands like a clean shot, and Ciryl Gane, fight's pretty much over. So I do think this is going to be a Tom Aspinall masterclass once again. I could see with all the hype and build up in DCs, like a little behind the scenes, like talking Tom Aspinall, this is one of the easy fights. Like, you gotta just take advantage of these, go out there and win, rack them up, this legendary stuff. No. Like this could be one of the ones where Tom Aspinall just gets fluked. And that would piss all of us off, to be honest. But I think we all think that Tom Aspinall should just mop Ciryl Gane in this fight. I think it'll be a first round finish. If Tom comes out fast, whether it's in the grappling or in the striking, like he's going to get a finish over Ciryl Gane. So, yeah, Tom Aspenal to win this fight and continue being the best heavyweight fighter in the world, beating John Jones via ducking. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. 35 minutes of me rambling on this card. I'm excited for it. I'm not insanely excited for this card, but it's better than watching a trash fight next. So yeah, it is what it is. I'll see you guys in the next video. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. We are on our way to 1,000 subscribers in the MMA YouTube channel. If you haven't already, do that. Please helps us. All right. Deuces.